I know that I've done a couple polenta recipes on the channel this year. So in light of my recent corn pudding recipe, I said to myself, I wonder if I can make something similar with polenta. So we are about to learn together. In this pot, I have 560 grams of whole milk, about 2.5 cups. And over there, I have 80 grams, or just under half of a cup of stone ground polenta. In with the milk, I have 40 grams, a little under half of a cup of white sugar, along with a small cinnamon stick and one small lemon peel. This is coming to a boil. I'm not going to let it boil for as long as the rice pudding boiled because polenta doesn't take as long to cook. So I know it's not going to be quite as infused with flavor. So that's why I may add some vanilla once this is done. Because you don't want to add vanilla extract in the beginning because the heat is going to evaporate most, if not all, the flavor. So once this comes to a boil, I'm going to add in the polenta and I'm just going to keep stirring. And I'm going to turn down the heat to medium low, and then we'll see how it turns out. I know that not everyone likes rice. Some people, they just like to experiment. And corn is already somewhat sweet on its own. So like I said, we'll learn together. CookPad, it's a cooking community on the internet that has a lot of people from Argentina. I've seen a few recipes for polenta dulce, sweet polenta, but not a ton. So I'm kind of winging this. I think treating it like rice pudding, at least partly, is the way to go. And then I can make a good comparison between the rice pudding and the polenta pudding, for lack of a better way of describing it. But yeah, sometimes in the kitchen you just gotta experiment and see what you can find. However, very soon I have another polenta dessert recipe that's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and fat-free, but not free of flavor. It's absolutely delicious, so stay tuned for that. But this milk is boiling now, so as it rises up, I'm going to add in the polenta. And you do not have to wait until it almost boils over before you add the polenta. That is not necessary. So yeah, I turned it down. It's on low, guess mark 2 out of 6. And now I'm just going to stir and cook it. I know in the past I cooked the polenta at a higher temperature and with a little bit less liquid, but I found recently that a lower temperature and more and more milk yields a polenta with a texture that I really like. So this is what I'm doing now. I think it's an improvement on the past. And I think that as a chef, sometimes we find things that work and we like them. And there is something to be said for, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But experimenting here and there, whether because you get an idea or someone suggests something, or maybe it's a mistake that leads to a new discovery, I think sometimes being open to make small changes can lead to new things. It can be a way to learn new things. It can be a way to experience and discover new things. And I also think that there's nothing wrong with exploring and making a lot of things, but me as a Southern and Argentine chef with a fitness influence, I think I'm able to perfect things more than some people can, and also know more about the culture behind different things. 'Cause I think, I'm gonna turn it like this. I think it's really easy, in the kitchen to be a jack of all trades, master of none. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with experimenting, and I think it's good to experiment with a lot of things, but I think me as a chef, since I focus on just a couple gastronomies, it makes my skills that much stronger. So once I am done, or excuse me, not done, once this gets closer to being done, I will bring you back. The polenta has been cooking for about 12 minutes. I've been stirring constantly. I've had it on low heat, gas mark 2 out of 6. And I apologize if you hear a humming noise in the background. That's the heater. I live in Siberia, so I need to have that on. The polenta is really good. I tried it already. Of course, the lemon and the cinnamon is not going to have as much time to infuse flavor into the polenta pudding as it is into the rice pudding, because it's not going to cook for as long. But it's really good. I can definitely taste the cinnamon. I can taste the lemon a little bit, I would say. But it definitely is flavoring it. If you want to see if your polenta is done, just put your spoon in and try it. It should not feel gritty in your mouth. Good. It's sweet, but not too sweet. You might want to, if you don't like things that are super sweet, then you could do 1/4 of the amount of polenta in sugar and then work your way up. As you probably recall, I did half the amount of sugar as polenta. It's good. I think might be a tad sweet, so you might want to do a little bit less than that and then add sugar as you go. And I should have anticipated that, because the rice pudding, it tastes sweeter warm than it does cold for some reason. So I'm not quite sure why. I have a little bit of milk off to the side here, probably a tablespoon. I'm going to add it in now. I kept it just in case I needed to add a little bit more. Like I said, this is almost done, and then I will be ready to serve. It's nice and creamy and good. The polenta pudding has been cooking over low heat for 15 minutes. I tasted it one more time, and I think it's done. I'm gonna turn off the heat and just stir it a minute or two more so that it does not burn on the bottom. Am I going to add vanilla? No, I think it's fine. I was concerned it might not be that flavorful because, like I said, it didn't boil for as long as the rice pudding did, but it's definitely delicious. So if you're looking for something different, you don't have time or the patience for rice pudding, normal rice pudding, definitely give this polenta pudding a try. Smooth, creamy, everything you would want in a dessert. So sometimes experimenting in the kitchen can lead to good things.